Hello everyone. So every now and then a person will say something that is just so dumb that you don't even know where to start with unpacking it. So here's a story to illustrate what that's like. This gender non-conforming, racially ambiguous, educationally challenged person walks into Jiffy Lube and says, "Hello, I'd like the $29.95 oil change that you have advertised, please." And the clerk says, "No problem, what kind of oil would you like?" And Z says, "Diesel." The clerk says, "Pardon?" "Diesel. I've noticed it's cheaper than gas, so I want my oil changed to diesel." So after the election, I thought to myself, I wonder how Steve Shives has responded to this. I am, of course, blocked by him, but surprisingly I wasn't blocked by a bot. I was hand blocked by him personally, about 15 minutes after I sent him these tweets. Let me tell you about my ex. He shamed me for what I enjoyed in terms of music, movies, etc. He made me afraid to speak, think, or act in certain ways that disagreed with his vision of the world. He made me censor myself, made me censor my opinions, made me censor my thoughts. I was scared to have friends who disagreed with him or to disagree with him myself. I hope that you can recognize that those behaviors are abusive. I got out of that abusive relationship. I hope you can too. This isn't a threatening, abusive, or misogynistic set of tweets, I'm sure we can all agree. And if you haven't seen the video where Steve's wife does this shit to him, I'll link to Armored Skeptic and Chewin' Head's video where they dissect it. So anyways, back on topic. I decided to check Steve's Twitter after the election, and I found this gem. Quote, "They should have nominated Bernie. Yeah, I wish the campaign had been more anti-Semitic too." And there are just so many things wrong with this that I don't even know where to start. I'm assuming he means that if the election was Trump versus Bernie, Trump would have let loose an anti-Semitic tirade to discredit Bernie. However, I seriously doubt that would have actually happened, since Trump's own daughter Ivanka is Jewish. She converted to Judaism to marry her husband and describes herself as Orthodox. But that's probably more for Israeli citizenship reasons and for their potential kids than it is her actual level of religiosity. Because if you didn't know, Israel considers any and all conservative and reform converts fake Jews, declares their children illegitimate, and doesn't allow the convert or their children anything more than visitor visas, and they can't live in Israel. Also, Israel will sometimes retroactively declare someone's conversion illegitimate, sometimes not even for the convert's actions. Like, they threatened to delegitimize Barry Frontel's conversions, and he was one of the few rabbis in North America who they had previously accepted, and that wasn't because of anything that the converts did. It was because Freundel got a voyeurism conviction. And then they used these retroactive deconversions to kick the kids of those converts out of the country, kids who they raised as Jewish their whole lives, always considered themselves Jewish, still do. They get kicked out of the country just because the Israeli state is kind of racist. Anyway, that's a racism and Judaism thing, and I'll deconstruct that at some point. But back to how this relates to Trump. I really doubt that Trump, both as a Republican presidential candidate and a father to an Orthodox Jewish woman, would have demonized Bernie for being Jewish. The religious right traditionally loves Jews, or at least believe that they should help Jews settle in Israel so that Jesus will come back. Demonizing Jews is a great way to alienate the entire Republican voter base, so I honestly don't see how Steve could feel that Trump would have done that. I suppose there's a chance that he meant that Sanders would demonize Trump for being too Jew-friendly, but again, I don't see how that would make any sense, considering that Sanders is Jewish. Or maybe Steve meant that if the election was Sanders v. Trump, then the anti-Semites would all come out of the woodwork to complain about them both being too close to Jews, and therefore the Illuminati is real or something. But in that case, I don't say why he wished the campaign had been more anti-Semitic. I feel like he's just trying to throw Jews under the bus, as if to say, Hillary is a woman and so misogyny is bad, but Bernie is Jewish, so anti-Semitism, yeah, I wish it had been more anti-Semitic than misogynistic. Like, he sees anti-Semitism as less bad than misogyny or something. So I'm kind of left wondering, does he think I don't care who suffers as long as it's not a woman? Also, Trump didn't run a massive smear campaign against Hillary Clinton. Don't get me wrong, he is an asshole. But Hillary did a lot more smearing of him and his supporters than he did against her and her supporters. When he said things like, "you'd be in jail," or "Bernie won the nomination fair and square," he was talking to Hillary. He was talking about her. He wasn't talking about her gender or everyone who shares her politics or all Democrats. He was talking about her. It was her friends and her campaign staff that rigged the DNC election in her favor. It was her campaign and her personal emails that incriminated her and tons of other stuff. It wasn't all Democrats. It wasn't all women. It was just her. She, on the other hand, showed blatant disregard for the democratic process and for the demos. She called at least a quarter of the country's voters a basket of deplorables, which is no way to bring people on the fence to your side. She smeared Trump with every label possible, and at the end of the day, while he isn't a good person, a lot of what she said was false or pumped up in order to fearmonger. She gave no reasons for people to support her, except perhaps lies she told about her international political policies being helpful, such as that she ran under sniper fire in Bosnia, which was false, that she brokered a 2012 peace treaty, which is false, or that her policies turned Libya from a dictatorship into a democracy, which is false. It's not even a single unified country anymore. So don't get me wrong. Trump is not a great person. I didn't vote for him. I voted for Jill Stein because I couldn't vote for Trump or Clinton in good conscience. But Trump isn't literally Satan. But Steve Shives' willingness to throw Bernie under the bus to protect Clinton when there is not one piece of evidence to be found as to why anyone who doesn't have tens of millions of dollars on the line should support or protect her is a symptom of his problem. He doesn't care about the truth. He doesn't care about facts or evidence. He doesn't care about reason. He doesn't even care about the people who actually show concern for him. He throws everyone under the bus, including women, including racial and ethnic minorities, including trans or other LGBT individuals, including the people who want to open domestic abuse shelters for men, including his own longtime friends, everyone, as long as it will defend a feminist, and more specifically, a female feminist. And honestly, I'm not sure it's entirely his fault. Like I said in the tweets he blocked me for, I think he's in an abusive marriage, and his wife is using social justice as her lead pipe to emotionally abuse him with. And the Shives, and the small chance you ever actually see this, I sincerely hope you get away from your abuser and are able to retain control of your critical faculties. If you really want to support the disadvantaged, which is the thing that she is telling you need to do, you need to be a good person. You need to block off everyone. You need to shut yourself into an echo chamber. These are the things she's telling you that you need to do to be a good person and to support minorities. If you really want to help the disadvantaged, leaving her and, regaining control of your critical faculties would be a great place to start. Continuing to scapegoat and to betray everyone around you won't help anyone. Not you, not your wife, not the people you claim to want to protect, and especially not the people you seek to destroy for disagreeing with your wife on the issues. I hope you can think about that. Thanks everyone for listening. Please subscribe if you want to. I'm hoping to put out a lot more videos. I've got a lot of topics lined up. The next series I do after we finish off women in the Abrahamic tradition is going to be apostasy and infidels. So that should be a lot of fun. Thanks. Bye.